Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 154 of the world's longest tenured Denver Nuggets spin-off podcast. Welcome to the fifth season of the DNVR Nuggets' Serbian Corner. My name is Miroslav, and before we begin, please take a moment to like the video on YouTube, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the DNVR Sports YouTube channel and the DNVR Nuggets podcast channel. The audio version is ideal for your commute or to make your office or home office time more bearable. If you want to support the show more directly, you can become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/MiroslavCUK, just like my Seco tier supporters, Peter Plummer, Daniel Lynch, and Brian Johnson. Patreon supporters can enjoy the ad-free audio version of this show. They can also submit ideas for guests and topics, and also be the guests on the show during the summer, as it is game show month again, and I've prepared even crazier trivia games than ever before. Before I introduce my panel for today, I just wanted to share some extra visual impressions from the Belgrade Arena from Thursday when Serbia dismantled Slovenia in their final tune-up game this summer. You can hear a lot of my real takeaways on Thursday's show, so just rewind 2 days ago, and I'm just going to share some little notes I have left for you. So let me bring in my trusty presentation for this. First, I should clean my computer screen, but I also feel the accreditation I got from the Serbian Basketball Federation was by far the nicest looking so far. Take note with them. Next, this is my friend and one of the best basketball journalists in Serbia, Marko Ljubomirovic. You might remember him for being the guy who broke the news about Nikola Jokic playing at the Olympics last summer. He will also be there in Riga, in Latvia, for the Eurobasket to see everything first person, and I am very envious of that. Next, this is what Vasa Micic was doing every second he wasn't on the court, warming up that hurting ankle. He is very dedicated to trying to get ready for the tournament, and as we've all heard today, he is one of the 12 guys traveling to Eurobasket. Next are two guys, Ogi Stojakovic and Nikola Jokic on the warm-ups. I'm so happy Nikola got Ogi to be with him during the national team month, on top of all of his player friends on the squad. Last but not least, Coach Pešić talking to the media. One thing I didn't mention on Thursday was him claiming he is the oldest coach in the world and that it wasn't his plan to be coaching this late in life. Here's to many more tournaments with you, Coach, if you don't mind returning. Okay. That's enough. Let me introduce my guests for today. First, the host of the What's in the Game podcast, video maestro, and a movie buff who is not afraid to share his controversial cinema takes. It's Will Jones. Welcome back to the show, Will.
Thank you for having me, Miroslav. Happy to be on, though I was nervous I was going to have a pretty bad performance because I know that your game shows are kind of hard. I didn't want to bomb in front of the Serbian fans, but then Slovenia said, hold my beer. And now I don't feel so bad if I just don't show up.
Yeah, also everybody bombs during my games because they're just crazy. And so don't feel bad for not winning any of them. But, you never know. You might win it all today. So I watched Ryan Coogler's Sinners the other day, and I mentioned in our movie group chat that even though I thought it was enjoyable from both visual and musical standpoints, I also thought it was pretty unnecessary film that I probably won't ever rewatch. Now, I love to get new information and get my negative critique turned positive, but I'm guessing that won't happen from your perspective.
No, I mean, I know Sinners is beloved. I think it's a little overrated, personally. I don't know. I mean, it would take a long time to explain, but it's a good like Tarantino kind of homage. It's a Robert Rodriguez type movie, type zombie movie, but it had some nice sequences and some good thoughts, but not particularly the scariest thing. And the first half was kind of slow. Which I'm fine with slow movies, but I don't know. Sinners wasn't really my thing, so I was glad you weren't like super hyped on it.
Okay, next, a hiker, a snowboarder, a photographer, and a singer. You can hear his voice often on these radio waves, but you don't see his face nearly often enough. It's super producer Kale Sorbo. Welcome back, Kale.
What's up, guys? Good to be here. Happy to be talking some nugs on a lovely Saturday.
Yes, please tell me a bit about your recent adventures. And when I say adventures, I mean travels and activities, not adultery or anything like that.
Well, there's none of that, anyways. But we just girlfriend and I just did a road trip up to Northwest Montana. Spent some time at Flathead Lake and Glacier National Park, and then came back down. Spent a couple days in Yellowstone, and then rounded out the trip with the Grand Teton National Park and took a bunch of really cool pictures. And it was long 2 weeks, but a great time.
Excellent. And last but not least, it's not Patrick Rasmussen who everybody is expecting, so expect a slight disappointment. It's Adamares. You were muted, old guy.
Sorry to disappoint everybody, but yes, it is in fact me.
Thank you so much for jumping in literally 90 seconds before the show started and changing the scenery as well, even though we enjoyed the other scenery as well. But thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me on, man. I'm excited. Can I make a quick announcement?
Of course.
So we're actually not supposed to be announcing this today. So I'm making a secret announcement for Serbian Corner followers.
Oh, don't worry. Nobody's watching this. So that's cool.
Well, I see one guy here already. Sir Sketch is watching, and I bring him up because we just launched memberships on our YouTube channel, which is for $5 you could become a member. You get a little badge next to your name that when you sign up, every month that you stay on, it updates to a new one so people will see. So if you sign up today, no one will ever have a more advanced badge than you. This is literally day one of YouTube membership for us. We call it Supporters Club. You'll get that, so it's kind of a literal badge of honor, and then you'll get access to custom emojis. Spoiler alert, there's no Nuggets ones yet, but that's only because we're only allowed 4, and we're going to unlock, I think, one every single day this week. There will be a Nuggets or a Serbia one coming up. So you get that. And then if you want to be a super supporter, $15, you get access to some behind-the-scenes stuff. Basically, just watch us as we plan our shows. Not essential content, but just like behind-the-scenes stuff and maybe even some experimental stuff. Basically, it's a way, if you're supporting us like that, we'll let you help us as we make our content. So it's a cool thing.
It is cool, and I hope you will force vote to record fan vote every week for the owners of the badge, because we need something really extra, and that guy is just not giving it.
I agree, but like that kind of content, we don't want to make people pay for. Like that's the stuff we want everybody to have. We talked a lot about this. This is Supporters Club. It's people like to support us, keep us alive. This is another way for that to happen, but we didn't want it to be. We still want the real content, to be for everyone. If you want to use special emojis, you can become a Supporters Club member.
Okay,
stay tuned. There will be some new fan vote content coming this season, though. We talked about it this week.
Yep.
Yeah, you see the comment right there, Adam.
Miroslav gifts.
Just
the people want it, man.
Give the people what they want. Okay, so before we dive into the madness of trivia games today, I wanted to ask all of you how you feel about the possibility of Nikola Jokic winning both the Eurobasket gold with Team Serbia and the NBA championship with the Denver Nuggets in the next 9 months or so. Am I delusional in thinking this is a real possibility? And which of these two things do you feel are more probable? Let's start with Kale.
I think Eurobasket gold is the most probable of those two. They seem to be easily the most talented team in the field this year, and their friendlies have just been they've just looked dominant, and they look like they're getting better. They look like they're getting better with every game. So I'm really excited to watch them come group play, and then obviously in the elimination rounds as well. But I think a gold medal is not only almost should be expected. I think it'll be a disappointment if Serbia doesn't win gold. The NBA championship is going to be harder. The West is stacked. It's definitely loaded, but I'm going to pick the Nuggets going into this year because I think they've got the best team in the NBA. So I think it's not only possible that both can happen, but I think we have a reason to be excited as fans.
What do you think, Will?
Yeah, I don't think you're delusional at all. I think they look pretty dominant right now. I'm really impressed with them. Sometimes they are playing through Jokic like we would expect, and other times Jokic is kind of just distributing and he can kind of let other people cook, and I love watching them. So much so that I wish we could almost just clone them, put them in the Eastern Conference, so I have another like team to follow. Even like put Jokic on that, we can have two Jokic's. Because they're just so fun to watch. I'm not as familiar with the competition in Eurobasket, but I will be watching it. In the NBA, it's really tough, but I do feel pretty good about our title chances. Like honestly, I can see it. This is a season I'm excited for, and similarly to 23. So, I mean, we just have to see how it goes. But I think we're pretty well set to do this.
So I think that I am picking Serbia to win Eurobasket, and I am picking the Nuggets to win the championship. So on one hand, I'm picking both things this year to happen, even though like the field is more likely, even if you're high on your team, the field is always going to be a better bet than just betting on the one team. But I think, and this is where I don't want to spoil yours. Can I spoil your answer just briefly?
You can.
While I answer
Yeah,
mine?
we spoke before the show.
So we spoke. He was texting me a little bit earlier today, and he said, "I think the Nuggets have a better chance." And he couldn't even really explain it. Single elimination, I get, but this is how I know Miroslav is just like me. The more you believe something, the more you don't believe it, because it's like Serbia is the best team. They look great. And that's why you have this feeling of like, yeah, but what am I missing? I think I feel the same way about both teams. I'm just like, they should win. They're great. It feels in a weird way like 23. There feels, I don't take this with a grain of salt. There feels like a little destiny to both of them. Like they both feel ready for the moment that's ahead of them. If I had to pick one, I'll still go Serbia because I think they're more better than the Nuggets are of the field. So I'll go with Serbia, I guess, with a slight edge.
I think that is a very fair point, and as you mentioned, the more you know about a certain subject, the more you know which things you don't know. You recognize the holes in the whole body of work the team has prepared for a certain tournament. And yes, it's just the variation of single elimination games. That's the only reason I would give slight edge to the Nuggets championship this time around, because, and I know this is a controversial take, but I think the more I think about the last season, I think OKC got a lot of luck last season in the playoffs. They played against the Nuggets, who had three of their top 6 guys injured in the series, and still went 7 with them. They didn't have to face Boston Celtics because they got hurt. There were a lot of things. Yes, they were an amazing regular season team, but the Nuggets showed the way to play against that team, because nobody plays zone in the regular season, and the Nuggets just exposed how fragile that OKC offense was, compared to what it was in the regular season. I'm not saying that offense was bad in the playoffs. It's just it was way worse than what we've seen in the regular season. So this is, even though I agree with you that the difference in top quality between the Nuggets and the OKC and the Houston Rockets and Cleveland Cavaliers, New York Knicks, whoever you want to pick there, is not as large as it is between Team Serbia and the other teams at Eurobasket. Just the fact that you have 7 chances to win against every team, and just show that little how much better you are. This is what will give the Nuggets the edge in this battle. Even though I agree with you, and this is the take I started with. I do believe both teams can get a crown this time around. Now, I don't know if you've seen that, guys, but Team Serbia announced its final 12-man team. That's exactly the same 12-man team I predicted like 2 weeks ago before the game started. So I guess I know some stuff about that.
Known.
But I'm not here to brag. I just want to ask you about one particular thing, and that's Vasa Micic, who is not very popular amongst Nuggets fans in the U.S. And to be quite honest, not very popular among the Serbian fans of the Nuggets and the other people, because he had some, hot and cold performances last couple of years for the Serbian national team. Even though he only played like 18 minutes on Thursday and none minutes before that because he was hurt, he was picked before Nikola Topic for this team. Nikola Topic will not travel with the team to Riga. Kale, how do you feel about this, knowing how high the NBA scouts are on Nikola Topic and honestly how well he played in this preparation period, before Vasa came back?
Yeah, I was hoping to see Topic just to be able to watch him a little bit, just because he's such an unknown, and I was so high on him as a prospect. So I was hoping we were going to be able to get to watch him, but I get it. I mean, Micic has been with this team for years and is one of the highest paid players in Europe, if not the highest paid player, I think, and he's really good. I can't stand watching him play basketball personally. I think he has all the bad habits of Jamal and not quite as good of the talent. And I think it drives me nuts. At least the last couple of years, we'll see how it plays out this year. But Serbia plays such a beautiful style where the ball never stops, and I just feel like when the ball gets into Micic's hands, it tends to stop a little bit, and the flow tends to not be as good. And when you're watching Team Serbia, that can be really frustrating because of how you feel like they want to naturally be playing at all times. But he is a proven really good European player in FIBA basket, and I think he's too talented and too well experienced with the team to leave off the roster. But I was looking forward to watching Topic just to see him play.
So Will, you've seen enough Vasa Micic last couple of years to have some sort of opinion of him. But let me tell you, this time around, he might actually lead the bench unit like Jamal does with the Nuggets, because he is actually starting off the bench for Team Serbia this time around. Are those similarities going to help you like him more? Or
Hey, it's less pressure, I guess, if you're trying to lead the bench unit, but that's also could be criticized more because then people really are looking more to you in specific units that he's playing with. So, if Serbia fans are already lower on him, this could go some way where if those bench units aren't performing, it could just continue that narrative. But I like the way they're playing on the whole. I agree, like with Kale, I wanted to see Topic play, but I don't know. It's like one of those things where, the vet's trusted and they're not ready to bring in the young guy yet. And we were just talking about this. I was talking with Grace, and she was saying she thought that this was a mistake not bringing him in, and she's definitely low on Vasa Micic. But, yeah, I mean, I believe he'll be okay. Like, the Team Serbia chemistry is there. Even if the ball might stop a little bit with him, I think there's enough opportunities. And he knows those guys really well. So I'm hopeful that he'll show up.
Adam, I want to ask you a bit of a different question here, because I know you know a lot about the history of Serbian national team or Yugoslav national team from before. I used to love the fact that Vlade Divac started playing for the national team at the age of 18, Sasha Danilovic at the age of 19, Sasha Djordjevic at the age of 20, and we are now not getting Topic at the age of 20, even though I'm pretty sure he might be the second best player of Serbia in 2 years for the World Cup. Having said that, back in the 80s and the 90s, the level of basketball and the physicality wasn't as high as it is today. So I don't think you needed all 12 roster spots filled in with top-level experienced guys like you might need right now. Do you think that might have had a part of just vision of Pešić wanting to go with 3 experienced point guards instead of giving a young hotshot a chance to start his career early?
I mean, I can only speculate on this, right? Because I really don't know the answer to this. The way I might speak a little bit more confidently if I was talking about the Nuggets, where I'm taking in some source information as well as my own perspective. But on this one, I'm just looking from the outside. But first, the comparison. One of the things that made the Divac, Raja, Danilovic, Djordjevic generation so special was they all came of age the same time. And so, and there was also at that time a little bit of a gap in, the earliest golden generation had ended. You had, you had, what was the star's name? Why can't I think of his name on the team?
Bodiroga?
What's that?
Bodiroga?
No, before this.
Kicanovic, Dalipagic.
No. Why am I
Oh,
blanking on this?
Drazen Petrovic.
Petrovic, yeah. He had Drazen.
Okay,
He had Drazen
okay.
on the squad, right, in the 80s. So he was like the star, but there was a senior group that was aging out, and it was before the new group had come in. So a lot of young guys are on the team because it's like there's an opportunity for young guys. Shout out, by the way, Christoph becoming a member as well as Ashley. We really appreciate it, guys. That's really incredible. And you get to be the most tenured people, literal day oneers for our channel here. But so there was an opportunity for young guys to come in. So that's the first part. And in this one, you have a lot of continuity and a lot of guys in their prime. So there maybe is less of an opportunity for him to come along. And then the second part is there is no competition next year. There's a gap year. And I almost wonder, and I think Topic not making the team almost signals how they're approaching this one. I think Serbia has been very intense and serious in the lead up to this. Almost like they know we have to win this one. Like, it's our time. This is not a silver bronze situation. It is our time to bring back a gold to Serbia, and they're going all in, knowing that there's a gap year, and Topic will be part of the team going forward. So to me, those two things are kind of how I thought about it. And when I saw his name, I go, all right, they're serious about this one. They don't need the handoff year. That'll come in years to come.
Also, one more thing. This is extremely big tournament for Serbia because in 2 years there's going to be a World Cup. Serbia needs to qualify for the World Cup because of the dumb FIBA rules. Even if they're European champions, they would still need to qualify. And the qualifying games are played without NBA players, without EuroLeague players, which is pretty bad. And Coach Pešić even talked about, okay, this is going to be fun probably, but after that, Serbia is facing real adversity in trying to even qualify for World Cup. And then, if they qualify even on the World Cup, they need to have really high position to automatically qualify for the Olympics. So those two tournaments are not guaranteed at all. So hopefully this is the big hurrah right now. And hopefully the next Olympic cycle, this is how we call it, is going to be as successful as this one was. Okay, let's take a short break, and then I wanted to talk a bit about the Nuggets before we go to the trivia games. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we are back. So I haven't had a chance to hear Kale or Will Jones talk, at least on this show, about the way the Nuggets got better for next season. Kale, if you would have to pick or grade the off-season moves made by the Nuggets in ways of importance for the next season, how would you grade them?
I mean, how can you go any lower than an A with what? I mean, even if you just take salary, I think Cam Johnson's going to be at least a replacement level player for Mike, if not a little bit of an upgrade. That would be my thoughts going into the year at least. And then with the less salary, they were able to bring in three more depth pieces with that in Tim Hardaway Jr., Bruce Brown, and the money freed up to trade for Big Val. So, I mean, those four players are all almost guaranteed to be set high contributing role players, and you got them for the salary cost of what one guy was giving you last year. And so it allows you a lot more room around the margins, so you don't feel like, okay, our draft pick has to hit this year because we can afford a vet to come in, and if he doesn't, it's okay. Like if Strother doesn't make it this year, it's not going to sink the team, although I think he's going to be way better and have a really big jump this year. But it has to be an A. I mean, their depth was their biggest issue last year. I mean, Jokic wins his minutes. That's just going back. And so if they just don't lose the non-Jokic minutes as badly as they have been in recent years, they should win games like maybe we haven't seen in this era, other than maybe the 23 playoff run. So I mean, I'm incredibly excited, and it's hard to give them. I think they were in a really tough spot with the lack of draft picks and lack of capital, and how close they were to that apron, and they were able to make so many moves that. And the other thing is, I just think this roster fits together really well. There's so many lineups I'm excited about watching, and they all fit. Like, there's not a single lineup that we've talked about where I'm like, oh, like, they're not going to be able to score with this, you know? Like, I think there should be enough lineups where they're either good enough defensively or good enough offensively, or can have some balance in places that they haven't, especially with some bench units that they haven't had in the last couple of years. And then to have Adelman, who seems to be more comfortable with some more staggered lineups and some more creative lineups, I couldn't be more excited. This is the most excited I've been coming into a year since 23 for sure.
Will, I'm pretty sure you agree with Kale that this is an A off season. But if we remove the Cam Johnson move, because it's obviously the biggest one of all of them that happened, and we hope for the biggest fruits from that move as well. How would you rank the other three? Like, which of the three other guys they've added do you think is the most important, and which one is maybe the least important out of them for next season?
I think Valanciunas has a chance to be the most important from those remaining, because it's just a role we've not really had to reliably play, and people have been arguing about whether that was a Malone thing or just the personnel thing we had with the backup center. But I'm hoping it would be crazy to think Val couldn't get some actual meaningful, productive minutes. And he just did really good with Lithuania the other day, I saw. So I think he's going to be like an offensive minded player, and he's going to score. He's going to rebound. He's a good screener. And so I'm really excited about him, especially because I think he could even work well with Jamal, because he likes those big body type centers that I think Val lends himself to. And THJ and Bruce Brown, not quite sure what exactly to expect from them, but I think they'll easily fill out the role you envision for them. Maybe fans have some expectations of Bruce because of his history with the Nuggets, and Tim Hardaway Jr. is a shooter, so you just get more shooting there. But Val's really the X factor of that group, I think.
Adam, you talk about the Nuggets professionally, so I'm gonna try to give you a question you didn't get so far, and that's not easy.
Okay.
I'm low on Peyton Watson as a 4 because I feel he's not good enough of a rebounder to be the 4. But is his pairing with Jonas actually a pretty good one rebounding wise? Jonas is a dominant rebounder. Can he help Peyton not look too bad in that part of defense?
I mean, if the question is, can Jonas just cover the boards for him, then I think the answer is likely. I mean, that's one of the things he does well, so I would say yes. But I do agree with you that Peyton Watson is not a good rebounder, and I don't expect him to become one, even with added strength, which I'm not sure how much he added this offseason. I don't think it's as simple as, he just needs to get stronger, he'll be a better rebounder. Some guys are rebounders, some guys aren't, and I don't think he is. He does other things. But the pairing could work because Jonas is not very nimble. He doesn't cover a lot of ground. I think one of the things that's nice about Nikola is he can cut off angles and, force guys into tough shots. And if you have a shot blocker there, then that guy gets a little bit closer to blocking the shot because the angles are tougher. I hope Big Val could be something similar to that, where he is forcing you to take a tough angle, and Peyton Watson is closing the gap on that one so that he can get extra blocks. And that's how I would see that pairing work, should he be the guy that ends up playing power forward as opposed to small forward, which I'm actually not sure that is how it'll shake out.
Who is playing the power forward? Do you think it's Aaron Gordon or Cam Johnson at the 4 in that situation?
I think it's entirely possible it is one of those guys. And at that point, you get into a Michael Porter situation, which is who's the power forward, who's the small forward. One takes the role on offense, the other on defense, and it might just work out that way. And I think it has a chance. But can I answer your earlier question, though, because you were asking about the biggest one, and I think it's easily Big Val is most important, mostly because of what he shores up. There's the idea of having a competent backup center, and I think we will fill it. But what's interesting to me is that leaves two guys, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Bruce Brown. And I think in both instances, we are excited about both guys. And Tim Hardaway Jr. in particular, I think, has a chance to be a pretty good high-impact player. But I would not be – I almost want to slow the bandwagon on both those guys because I think they're great and they add depth and they're important. But at the same time, I almost worry that expectations are going to be too high for those guys to be too good. I think it's more they're replacing nobody. They're replacing an absence of depth. And I do think they bring something to the table. So expectations being lowered on those two guys, they were minimum signings and for a reason. And that's part of what's kind of funny about the offseason. I think it was great, A+, all these things. But it is funny to say they picked up two guys for vet minimums. That's, like it's for a reason that they're vet minimums. And also it's nice that they got them, but it's not the craziest thing. Ooh, Tommy comes in with a new membership, by the way. I want to shout them all out as they come in because we do appreciate it. We'll have some Nuggets in Serbia emojis, I'm telling you, very, very soon.
Yeah, well, Calvin Booth could have done the same last year if he didn't, give all of his guys guaranteed contracts. So that was a bit of a difficult part for him. And also he didn't want to because he wanted to force certain someone's hand. But it is what it is. Let's not go back there. Yeah.
Yep.
You wanted to add something?
I just want to say there's that everybody remembers that part of the sequence, but there is another part of the sequence, which was there are guys who are playing good minutes. Davon Reed was over Christian Brown early on. Yeah. Calvin was reacting to, Malone's decision, and then Malone reacting to Cal, and it became this Russian nesting doll of bad motivations. And so it's like we can't just go one step back in the process. You have to go back to at least see it all, even if you disagree. And the second part is Tim Hardaway Jr. called the Nuggets. Said, I want to be on your team, and I'll take a minimum. It's a great job by the front office, but at the same time, it's sometimes the fish jumps into the boat.
Yes, I actually 100% agree with you. And if I can say something really mean, I'm not surprised neither of the two guys are still not employed by another NBA franchise. But good. But what do I know? That was mean. Yeah. Okay, let's take another break, and then we are going to start with the trivia games. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we are back. So this show always starts with a tiebreaker game because not everybody are familiar with how these games work. So I want to, make you more comfortable while playing a game that doesn't actually count for the win at the end of the show, unless, of course, there's a tie at the end. In that case, it counts for everything. So it is what it is. And this is how the game works. I went to Basketball Reference and typed in certain letters in the search bar to see which players will auto-populate lists under the search bar. And I believe the way Basketball Reference works is it will show us the 10 guys with the highest career win shares in that order. So the guy with the highest win shares will be number one. The guy with the lowest out of those 10 will be 10th on the list. And of course, nobody else is appearing on the list. And the way this show works, and this is going to sound like me fixing the game, I always give the first chance at the tiebreaker game to the guy who is first in alphabetical order by first name. So Adam will get the first crack. This is the only show where Adam gets the first pick.
Yeah.
In no other show is Adam the first. Kale will be second.
You see how it's done, Kale?
I mean, I have intentionally been keeping you away from the first pick in our snake drafts for 3 years now. So
Adam, I'm not sure this first pick is going to be great for you because you might not still realize how this game works.
Oh, no.
But here is what I typed in the Basketball Reference search bar. In honor of Nuggets head coach David Adelman, I typed in 3 letters DAV. So what would your first guess be? Who is on this top 10 list of guys whose first name or last name starts with DAV?
So if I have to start, so it's anybody, it's not necessarily Nuggets?
No. It's league-wide, and it's both NBA and ABA, just like you can see.
So my first guess will be David Robinson.
David Robinson is a very good guess because he is number 1 on this list, which means Adam gets 10 points for his first pick. He played in the league from 1990 to 2003 and was my first favorite NBA superstar, outside of Vlade Divac, who, obviously was my guy. Kale, what will be your first pick?
oh my gosh. I'm probably showing my age here. I'm sure there's someone better, but Anthony Davis.
You are not showing your
Yeah,
age
good
because Anthony Davis is number 2 on the list. His 12 seasons in the NBA gave him the second biggest win shares out of all of the guys whose first or last name starts with DAV. Will.
Oh man, first one that came to my mind is David Thompson.
David Thompson is a great guess because, of course, he is our guy. Unfortunately, he does not show up
What?
Gosh, damn.
in the top 10.
I
That's
had to guess
messed
him
up.
though.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
It is
man.
messed up. It is messed up. David Thompson is not among the 10 guys on the list.
Okay.
Adam, your second guess.
My next guess would be Baron Davis.
Baron Davis is number 8 on the list. That's 3 points for you, Adam. Played for 12 seasons from 2000 to 2012. Kale.
I don't even know if I have another one. Can I pass? Like I
You
don't
can,
know.
of course. It's
Yeah.
allowed.
I guess I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea who I would even guess. Sorry.
There are some guys you will recognize, but there are some guys you will not recognize on the list. Will.
Okay.
Whoa. Yeah, it's hard to think of the names on this one. We've gone through the obvious ones, I feel like. Who's a player? It's tripping me out because David Thompson's not one.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm like trying to think of players who would surpass him. David. Man, David Greenwood. I don't know.
That sounds like an NBA player, I'm not going to lie.
It is.
Yeah. But he is not on the list, though. Adam,
I'd go but to
your,
Dale.
your last pick.
Is it Dale Davis?
Dale Davis, interestingly enough, is not on the list. Kale, your last pick. Do you have
Oh.
something?
I mean, this guy won an MVP, so it's got to be on the list. Walter Davis, is he on the
Walter
list?
Davis is number 5 on the list.
Okay.
6 points for Kale. Very good guess.
I do see one.
He is actually overtaking Adam here. And Kale will win the game number 1, but Will has another chance to improve his score.
Oh, do I steal this one in the chat or is that cheating?
No cheating, man. Play like a champ.
Dang. Dave. I don't know. I'm gonna have to pass.
You're not going to use the chat? Oh, you could win it.
You said play like a champ.
Yeah, that means cheat.
That was reverse bullying by Adam. And this is the entire list. Kale wins the tiebreaker
Dave
game.
Cowens, yeah.
There
Dave
it is,
Davis
yeah.
shoot.
Dave Bing,
David
number
West.
3. Dave Cowens,
David
number
West.
4.
I thought
David
for sure David
West.
West wouldn't be on it.
Unsung
Dave-
role players of this era.
This is
David
tough
West
because I
and
should have
David
known
Lee,
all
yeah.
these.
Yeah, it's true. Dave Deboucher also the from the old times, and yeah, Dave Robish is the only guy. Dave Robish sounds like somebody who is close to David Robinson. You know, like it's
David Lee.
Robish, not Robinson, but Robish. That's not a good joke. Okay, let's jump in right into game number 1, the first one that will actually count after I type here that Kale won. Tiebreaker game. So game number 1 will go to Kale. Kale, we get the first crack at it. Will be number 2, and Adam will be number 3. So, Kale, game is like this. Which Nuggets players have had the most games with 50% or better field goal percentage in October, November, and December of 2024? So basically the first half of last season, which Nuggets players have had the most games with 50% or better field goal percentage in these 3 starting months?
I mean,
would
am
you-
am I allowed to say Jokic?
Of course, you are allowed to say any
Yeah,
of the Nuggets
Nikola
players.
Jokic.
Nikola Jokic is a great guess. Interestingly enough, not number 1 on the list.
Okay.
Number 2 on the list with 22 such games, which means 9 points for Kale. Will, we are going to you now.
And this was just 2024.
Just 2024, just the first 3 months, October, November, and December.
Yeah, I want to go Christian Brown.
Christian Brown is number one on the list. Christian Brown had 23 such games. Nikola Jokic had 2 such games. And Adam will hopefully be joining us pretty soon to give us his first guess.
Duty.
Yeah, he is on babysitting duty. I'm not sure if we're talking about actual babies, but I do know he is supposed to be there as a mediator between the kids, so they have only fun and not any. Anyway, while we're waiting for Adam, Kale, what do you feel? Who will play more games this season, Tim Hardaway Jr. or Bruce Brown?
Bruce Brown. And I just
Is
think
it because of the on ball creation?
Yeah, I just think his spot in the rotation is more needed on a night-to-night basis, and I think there's more guys in Tim's spot that are gonna try and get minutes for, and I think Tim will be that guy come playoffs. But I think Tim's a 3, kind of a 2-3, but you're gonna try and get Peyton minutes at the 3, you're gonna try and get Julian minutes at the 3, and so I just think you're going to need Bruce Brown as a secondary ball handler probably every night, so I think he probably plays more.
What do you think, Will?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we've been asking about if we're going to get a backup point guard, and I know Pickett's on the team, but it seems like Bruce Brown could be slotted to play that role sometimes. So, and he's just like versatile. Like we've closed with him in other positions just because that's what we've needed to do. So. And, yeah, he's just more versatile than Tim Hardaway, who, yeah, there's kind of, other guys, like Kale said, Strother and P-Watt there. So harder to work him in. And I just think that's just what he's been brought in to do, is bring shooting off the bench in some occasions and not take on the role that Bruce needs to. But let's hope Bruce does play well enough to actually follow through on that, which I think he will.
I feel kind of crazy for thinking so, but I believe in the first 10 games of the season, we're going to see Zeke Naji playing real minutes. And I don't think he's going to be there for game 1. But, people get hurt. So, somebody twists an ankle, misses a couple of games. I think Zeke is going to get a chance pretty early because he is, in my view, the most natural 4 off the bench the Nuggets have this season. And I would really like to see a lineup that would be pretty similar to the starting lineup, meaning that switch all defense except 1 and 5. Just leave Jonas in the drop or whatever. But then if you have Zeke and you have Peyton and you have Bruce and whoever the 4th guy is, you might be able to play pretty good stout defense with those guys. So even though I was never a Zeke hater, but I was always, skeptical of his upside and more skeptical of his floor. But I do kind of think we are gonna see Zeke more than people, because nobody's mentioning him right now.
Yeah, I just honestly think it's gonna come down to how much AG is staggering with the bench. If they decide to tether AG's minutes to Jokic like they did 2 years ago, I think Zeke's not going to play very much because I don't think you want to play Zeke with the bench unit that much. But if Zeke's playing in a lineup next to Jokic for 5-6 minutes a night while AG's staggering with the bench, I'm totally cool with seeing that.
Yeah, the power forward position's a little bit weird too. So I could see us needing to go to Zeke because, there's Duran, but coming off injury. You have AG, but I would love to not have to do that too much. So I could see it happening.
It's also just, I guess, how much can you see P-Watt playing the 4? I think if you need size in your lineup, playing P-Watt at the 4 is a pretty tough ask. He's a great rim protector, but I just think he's almost exclusively a 3. But they're going to probably have to play him at the 4 this year, so we'll see.
Okay, we bought enough time for Adam to come back, and since he didn't come back yet, I'm gonna pick a player for him, and I'm trying to use Adam's brain. So who had the most games with 50% or better field goal percentage in October, November, December? And Adam is gonna say Jalen Pickett because he is a Pickett guy. Unfortunately, Jalen Pickett is not on the list, so that's 0 points for Adam. Kale, we are back to you. So number 1 and number 2. Christian Brown and Jokic are off the board. Who will be your second pick?
I'm trying to think of guys who don't shoot a lot from distance. So this is gonna sound weird. I'm gonna go Peyton Watson.
Peyton Watson is number 4 on the list. That is a great guess. That is 7 points for you, Kale. So now you have 16. Will, you have 10. You need to add more to your tally.
All right. I'm just going to guess Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon is number 7 on the list.
Okay.
With 11 such games. Peyton Watson had 17. So that is 4 points for you, Will. And Adam's next pick. Let me see who Adam likes the best after Pickett. And you already had Peyton Watson there. Let's go with Hunter Tyson this time around for Adam. And what do you know? He is on the list. He's number 10 on the list. Hunter Tyson is 1 point for Adam. And Kale, with a really good guess, you can lock in the point in this game.
So number 3. It's probably worth just guessing Jamal at this point.
It is worth because because Jamal is on the list. He is number 9 though, with only 8 such games.
Damn.
So that is 2 points for Kale. Now Kale has 18 points. Will has 4. So if Will gets number 3, number 4, or number 5 on the list, he will win this game because Adam just sucked at this game. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
By the way, shout out Y Kobe for being a new member. Thank you.
I almost want to guess MPJ, but I'm afraid because he shoots a lot. I'm going to go Russ and just hope that he was just getting a lot of dunks or something.
Russell Westbrook had 12 such games, which brings him to number 6. And also 5 points for you, Will, which means you still won the game with 19 points. I will be graceful and give Adam number 3 pick, Michael Porter Jr. So that's 8 points for Adam. He is not, completely horrible at this game. And I will show you the entire list. Of course, I always have a reason why I make these kind of games. Is just to show you just how horrific start to the season Jamal Murray had last season. Yes, Christian Brown 23, Nikola Jokic 22, Michael Porter 21, Peyton Watson 17, Julian Stroughter 16, Russell Westbrook 12, Aaron Gordon 11, DeAndre Jordan, and Aaron Gordon was injured, by the way. DeAndre Jordan 10, Jamal Murray 8, and Hunter Tyson 4. So basically, Jamal Murray only had 4 more such games than Hunter Tyson. This is why I need Jamal to be locked in from the start of this season and just get away with all of the narratives around him. So Adam, let him get his headphones. So Adam, I'm sorry.
Take my mic off the entire time?
I'm sorry to say that you've lost this game. Your first 2 picks were pretty poor. We were wondering who had the most 50% plus field goal in the first 3 months of last season, and you started with Pickett. Come on, you're such a
homer.
Biased
You'll
guy.
all see.
I have no idea why you went to Hunter Tyson after that, but yeah, you did make it up with Michael Porter. So yes, this is what I wanted to show to everybody. That Jamal Murray had 8 such games in the first 3 months, and Hunter Tyson had 4. Okay, let's now take one more short break, and after that, we're going to do games 2 and games 3. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we are back. So now, since Will won game number 1, he will get the first crack at game number 2. Adam will be number 2, and Kale will be number 3. And now, just like always, game number 2 is about the entirety of the Jokic era Nuggets. So the question is, which players have had the most games with 6 personal fouls for the Nuggets in the Jokic era, regular season plus playoffs combined? So we need to think about guys, who are famous for fouling out and also who have played enough games to get on this list. Before you start, I will tell you the numbers are not as high as somebody would guess. Fouling out in the NBA is not a very usual thing to happen. So, Will, what will be your guess number 1? Which Nugget from the Jokic era fouled out the most times?
First one that comes to my mind, I'm not confident on this, but Boogie Cousins.
Boogie Cousins is a great guess, but he only played for like half a season.
But I was like, he could have racked up a lot just
for the Nuggets. Unfortunately, I think he had more technical fouls than fouling outs, actually, or 6 fouls. So that is a 0 for Will. Adam, what will be your guess?
I'm going to guess Mason Plumlee.
Mason Plumlee is a great guess. He's tied for number 2. So that is 9 points for Adam. 8 such games. Only one person had more than 8 fouling outs. Kale.
I think it's Jokic himself.
Jokic is, of course, number 1 because he has played like 800 games in that span. So, yes, Jokic had 14 such games, which is not, as you can see, I'm not even sure the 800 might be more than 800 games, really. 850 probably in 10 seasons, including playoffs. So 14 is not that high, but still number 1 for Kale, 10 points. Will, you get the second chance now.
Trying to think of who fouls out. Nurkic? I don't know.
Nurkic is a good guess. He's been there for, 2.5 seasons?
Wasn't very long either.
But he is not on the list, unfortunately. Adam.
I'm going to guess Torrey Craig.
Excellent guess. Also tied for number 2 with Mason Plumlee. Wow. Also 8 such games, Torrey Craig. So now 18 points for Adam. Kale.
I'm going to guess Gary Harris.
Gary Harris played enough games to foul out enough times. He is tied for number 4. So that is 7 points for Kale. 4 games. He had 4 such games. So we had 14, 8, 8, and Gary Harris is tied for 4th. So with 4. So all the other guys had fewer than that. Or exactly 4. Will.
Oh, man. I don't think I'm going to get on the board on this one. Let's go MPJ.
MPJ is not
early
on the list. All 10 guys that are on my list had at least 2 such games. MPJ might have did it once, but not
I don't
twice.
really remember him doing it, but
Man.
Adam.
It's a really good question because of how few it is. I'm going to go. I'll go with Will Barton because now we're at volume.
Yes. You have volume with Will Barton, but Will Barton is too slick to file out. No, he is not on the list. You still have 18. Kale has 17. So if Kale gets anybody, really, because there are 2 guys tied for 9, which means 2 points, Kale will win the game.
I mean, it's got to be Aaron Gordon because I can remember 2 at least off the top of my head.
Aaron Gordon is also tied for number 4 with 4 such games. Great job, Kale. 7 points for you. Here is the entire list. Nikola Jokic, Torrey Craig, Mason Plumlee, Wilson Chandler, Gary Harris, Aaron Gordon, and then Jamal Murray, Paul Millsap, and finally Jeff Green and Russell Westbrook. As I said,
Russ fouled out twice this year.
I don't even remember.
Wow,
he did.
Didn't he foul out on the technical? Didn't he get a technical and a foul out? Do you remember the game where he was?
He had to have 6 personal fouls to get on this list. So getting out for 2 technical fouls do not count.
It's a bummer this wasn't a foul per minute list because our guy Ihart deserved a shout out here too.
It's true. Also Julian Strother, a strong candidate here as well. Okay, so Kale wins game number 2. After who won game number 1 was also Kale?
I think Will beat me by 1 point.
Oh, Will won number 1. Yeah, I have to check my notes.
Yeah, mark that
so okay,
one
we
down.
have Will, we have Kale, and now Adam's only chance is to win game number 3 and get the entire tiebreaker. Starting game number 3, of course, everyone's favorite game, except for the participants of this show, and it is called "Can I Have Your Full Name, Sir / Madam?" Now we are gonna see if Kale or Adam have ever seen any of these game shows, because it's really easy for the veterans, but if you're playing it for the first time, it's pretty confusing. This is a name mashup game in which I create a long name by joining two people's names together and mash them up in the middle. That sounds confusing. So here's an example. If I tell you the first person is a former Nugget drafted in 2014, and the second person is the most handsome Nugget outside of this show, like all of these guys, your answer should be Gary Harrison Wind. So, Kale gets the first chance. Here are your first
So
clues.
that answer would have been Gary Harrison Wind?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
Harris and Harrison combine, and this is how. So you need to cross at least 2 letters together in the mashup. Sometimes can be the entire word. You'll never know. So here are your clues. The first person is a former Nugget. The second person is a former Nugget.
Who's first?
Kale, this is your.
Oh,
this is
man.
yours. You
Okay.
can pass. You don't have to guess immediately.
No. I got this.
Okay. You might help the other contestants if you only guess
Why
one
would-
of the two,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So be
Oh,
tactical.
come on. Don't be technical.
All right, I'll pass.
Adam,
I go, Kenneth Ferredi Nahara.
that's not how the spelling works, but yeah.
Eduardo. Kenneth Ferredi Eduardo Nahara.
I guess good guess. Not really, but yeah. Will?
Man, I can't even. I'm trying to think. I'll just pass. We'll get this next clue.
Okay, that's smart. That is smart. Okay. Kale, the first person was an all-star 3 times as a Nugget. The second person played at the Disney World bubble.
All-star 3 times as a Nugget. Oh, I'm trying to think who was an all-star 3 times.
As a Nugget. No,
Carmelo Anthony Carter?
it's a good guess, but
It is
not-
an excellent guess,
nobody's at the bubble.
but he wasn't
Oh.
at the bubble. I don't think so. Maris?
Oh man, this is really tough. I'll pass. I don't have an answer on this one.
Okay, Will?
Yeah, I got to pass too.
Okay, the easiest clue
Oh,
coming
no.
up.
For Kale.
The last one, Kale. You'll all have your combination. Come on, guys.
Come on, guys.
Kale. The first person was born in 1966 in Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. The second person was born in 1999 in Khartoum, Sudan.
I know it.
So the first guy is Mutombo. Who's the second guy? I should know this. Who is Sudanese? Oh, Mutombo.
That's not a full name.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Dang it, the
need your
technicality.
full name, sir / madam.
Oh. What is Mutombo's first name? You know, I'm
I
gonna
can
lose
work
this
with
on
the-
a technicality,
Oh,
but that's
no!
a bummer.
Wow.
It's a bummer.
I can work with a nickname too. Like, come on.
No way.
I don't know his first name. I genuinely
no
don't.
way.
Oh.
Do I steal it?
Yeah,
I think
you can steal it.
Oh God, I just
Dikembe Mutombo Mupalando Mukamba Jean-Jacques Mutombo Bo.
That is actually the correct answer, but I'm satisfied with Dikembe
I'm so
Mutombo
mad at myself
Ball.
that I just such a oh man.
That's a tough one. That was a tough one.
I'm
this
so-
game puts you on the spot.
I could not think of it like for the life of me.
This is a game that is so much harder when you're playing it
Yeah.
instead of watching on the screen, on the show. So yeah, I get it. Okay, Adam, the second combination is for you. The first person was born in 1963 in Brooklyn, New York. The second person was born in 1948 in Batavia, Illinois. You must know everybody born in Batavia, Illinois in 48.
I don't think in Brooklyn, New York is older than Michael Malone. Second person in Illinois. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a guess. Doug Moe's
Okay.
not that old either. Or he's way older than that. So I don't know.
Okay, Will?
Got nothing on this so far.
Okay. Kale?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for another clue.
Before we continue, I'm just going to tell you that all three combinations have a team together. So, maybe it's too early to get what the team is.
Two African players last time. Okay.
Adam, here is the second pair of clues. The first person's NBA teammates were Will Perdue, Kwame Brown, and Popeye Jones.
Man, that's too tough.
The second person played for the Nuggets for 10 NBA seasons and was an All-Star in his NBA debut.
Okay. An all-star in their NBA debut. So, oh man, no.
Ten NBA seasons.
Man, this is a tough one. I'm going to have to pass again. I hate it, but I'm going to have to pass. Otherwise, I'd think for too long.
William.
I don't know. I think I might know the first one, but I don't know who. Wait, no, they're too old. Or he's too young to be that. Oh, man.
So we are talking about a person who is 62 and the
Yeah.
other person who is what? Oh, God.
Pretty old. All right, I'm going to pass.
Kale.
Okay, so the second one probably. The second one's probably gotta be.
I hope
what,
you're not
at-
Googling, by the way.
No. I was responding to a text message. Sorry.
We are all responding to text messages.
The second one's got to be what? Alex English, because he all-star in his rookie year, about that age. So what would Alex be? I'm gonna pass. I got no good guesses.
Okay, Adam, easiest clues. The first person played in the NBA for 15 seasons, with his final retirement being his third one. The second person is still the Denver Nuggets record holder for career free throws made and is second all-time for games played for the Nuggets.
So it sounds like Michael Jordan Issel.
That is correct. Michael
Nice.
Jordan Issel.
Jordan was
is-
born in New York.
Yeah, Brooklyn, New York.
Really?
In
And how did I never know that?
1963. Yeah. Well, like, according to Wikipedia, sometimes Wikipedia can get hacked. So
Yeah, who
if Wikipedia is correct, then that means I'm correct too. So Adam gets the second one, which means he will eventually win the third game. But we have another combination this time around for Will. This is very fun. The first person is not a person, but a wheat flour-based type of food ingredient.
Of course.
The second person was born in 1982 in the city of São Carlos.
This is actually more of a clue than the other first clues, but I don't know. I don't know yet.
Okay, Kale.
I got nothing. Yeah.
So I think I should be able to solve this one. A wheat flour based type of food
Ingredient.
ingredient. Well, you know I don't know how to cook.
I do.
So I have to pass on this to connect it with another clue.
By the way, I'm putting this on the list for next spring. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so.
Oh, man. Okay. Keep going. I'll get it here.
Okay. Clue number 2. Again for Will. The first person is not a person, but a food ingredient that was first made in 1865 in Genoa, Italy. The second person played for the Denver Nuggets during 9.5 seasons, mostly in the 2000s.
Where could this go? I think I have the type of food down, but I don't know what actual word I'm supposed to be using here. If I pass, Adam's gonna get it on the next one. I know it. I'll pass. I'll pass.
Yeah, you will have first chance before Adam, so don't worry. Kale.
2000s.
Adam already won this game, so let's just let him have his moment.
Adam.
I only know the second one is clearly Nene or Nene, but
You're-
I have
you're
no
helping.
idea how you make bread.
So you're passing.
So I have to pass.
Okay, Will. Final clue. The first person is not a person, but a type of pasta in the shape of tubular pieces with ends cut at an angle. The second person was born as
What?
Maybinner Rodney Ilario before legally changing his name in 2003 to what we call him today.
Is it Panene?
That is correct. Panene is correct.
Oh my
Might
god.
be my greatest
Panene.
job so far.
I was
Panene.
thinking, what pasta am I supposed to? Spaghetti Lawson.
That is not a very long name, though, so it's a kind of a trick here. But yes, Panene is the combination. Will wins the third combination. Adam wins game number 3. Will won game number 2. No, Kale won number
Kale got
2,
two.
and Will got number 1, which means we are getting into a total tiebreaker. But since Kale won the tiebreaker at the beginning of the show, Kale is our
Kale.
champion. Which means Kale will return to the show in several weeks when the second round starts, which is great news for Adam. He doesn't have to come back again during
Signing up
summer.
for another one.
That's a dub, baby.
But before we
Nicely
go,
done.
and since Kale is the champion, Kale, you get the first chance to plug whatever you want or give us a message to the universe of your choosing.
Just watch the DNVR show Monday through Friday at 2:15, and we're doing post-game shows for every single Eurobasket group play game. So you should watch those too, and go Serbia.
Will.
Come follow me on Twitter and talk Nuggets and watch our show, What's in a Game. It's more Nuggets long-form content. And, we love interacting with people.
When do you expect the next show to drop?
That I'm not sure, but we just had one today. So go back and rewatch the one we just finished,
Oh,
which we ranked all
I've
the
missed
Western
it.
Conference off-seasons. So
I've missed it, but
We
I
graded them.
watch or read or listen to my shows while I'm driving during the week. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. Adam, anything to plug?
Just our new memberships, which we call Supporters Club. I see we got a couple people. I want to shout them out. Wyoming Cowboy, new member. Mike Zunic, new member. Tommy Jivalyevich. I think I got it eventually. Oh, man. Christoph Zerbak, I think. And then Dusty, David Hannert. I think all those guys joined during this one. We appreciate you guys. It supports the channel, and you get access to new emojis. We will have one. I think on Wednesday we're going to drop our first Nuggets/Serbia one. So, and we'll be dropping as we sign up. We get more and more of those. So as people sign up, we get more. We'll keep unleashing them. But we appreciate you guys.
Can we get Eric doing this in the stands in Belgrade?
I don't know. Yeah. It's like such a tiny file you get that you have to kind of keep it very basic.
Yeah, and Eric is a pretty big guy, so yeah, I guess that's gonna be hard to fit in. Okay, and that is all I've prepared for you, my dear listener. And with the cherry on top, please take the word "prepared" very loosely. Be well, be safe, be kind to everybody. Call your mom, and until next week, possibly the new player of Hapoel Tel Aviv, Russell Westbrook.
Idemo Nuggets.